Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Mindful Homestead. Today I'm going to take you guys on a little bit of an adventure. We are here at the Augusta Civic Center in Augusta, Maine for the 2024 TYM Tractor Show. So I'm up here at the 2024 Maine Tractor Show with TYM tractors and SR1 equipment. SR1 equipment is the sister company to Central New Hampshire Trailers and Equipment. That's where I got my T494 TYM tractor. Much cleaner version here with me right now. I don't think my tractor's ever gonna be this clean again. I'm just gonna be hanging up here for the next 3 days, talking tractors, talking to people that like tractors, wanna know more about TYM as a brand, and hanging out. So I'm gonna take you along for the ride. Cool tractor here that's probably not going to be the most commonly sold TYM out there. But this is the new TYM 130. Big ag tractor. You know, this is doing lots of row crops. I mean, you can see if I turn the camera and go over here, this loader is up right over my head. It's got a big Deutz 4-cylinder diesel in it. Super solid. Lift capacity on this loader of over 5,000 pounds. That's double what my 494 has. Crack open the cab here and look up. You see you've got a sunroof, you've got all the amenities, you've got speakers, stereo, climate control, all that good stuff. I've said it before and I'll say it again. One of the things TYM is doing that's really cool is they're offering their tractors at competitive pricing, but they're including a lot of features standard inside the tractors and on the outside too, like rear remotes, climate control, radios, things like that. And they're including them as standard in the tractors. They're not charging extra for them, which is really cool to see in a new competitor in the market, because usually their margins are already pretty tight and TYM is capitalizing on it and they're just making value a huge driver. I was just talking to Hank about this right here. Check this out. Yeah, look at this. Let's look in the front. Woo! That's real nice. This must be someone's machine because it smells good in there too. Tinted cab, Ironcraft bucket, that thing is burly. That's way more substantial than the bucket I have on my 494 right now, which is bent, incidentally, from digging a rock out of the ground. Not TYM's fault that I treat it like a bulldozer. Super cool looking tractor though, This is one of the Branson machines, well, the rebadged Branson machines. I want to point out this tractor behind me because I think this is an exceptionally good buy in the TYM line for somebody who's kind of on a sizable acreage dust, 10 acres, you know, maybe doing some small stuff. This is TYM 3515. This is a carryover from the Branson line. Heavy tractor right here for its size. 35 horse engine, which is killer, 30 horse at the rear PTO. But you're looking at a 22-pound loader capacity on this, which in this size of tractor, you know, the physical size of this thing is not huge. So to have that much loader capacity and that much power in a package like this is really based entirely off the fact that this is just a very heavy frame tractor that is able to weigh a lot and do a lot of work, but not be a huge size. Price on this is $24,900 through SR1 equipment, which if you're thinking, if you're out there like, oh, well, I looked at a Kubota BX, the Kubota BX, you're looking at like 18 to 20 right now with a loader, depending who you go through. For $5,000 more, you're getting this thing that can do literally 3 times the weight of what a Kubota BX is going to have on the front end. Nothing against the Kubota, but bang for the buck on something like this, you're doing really well. This is part of what's really cool about this event, is they've got all these tractors here lined up from T574s, T494, what we got right there, 474, down to the little guys, excavators, loaders, all sorts of equipment lined up out here with all sorts of different implements. You got buckets, you got hay spears that I almost walked into right there, grapples, all sorts of stuff for people to try out, whether you've used a tractor before or you're new to the whole thing.
You know, this thing is simple. It's 3 pieces of steel and 4 pieces of plastic that we make in-house. No welding, it all interlocks together. So the two pieces will bolt together, and then the kind of the main frame and the mount portion, we can walk around and take a look at it. So this kind of U-shaped piece here, this is one piece, and then this front piece is the second piece.
Okay.
And the U-bolt holds them together. They interlock, you see here on the side, where they'll actually lock together. The CFO and from TYM and myself were walking around yesterday looking at things, and well, that's one thing we talked about. He was mentioning, like, yeah, people are always saying the toolbox isn't big enough. We get the same comment, and I think that's what kind of drove the reason to design this in the first place is the toolboxes were never big enough.
For me, it'd be nice to have the chainsaw,
Yep.
the other mount you have for your gas can,
Yep.
some chainsaw tools, and then have that too somewhere else.
Sure.
So when you're at work,
Yep.
then you can kind of have
Yep.
it all.
The other thing that's nice about the system is, like I said earlier, you can go in between. So you could have 3 toolboxes set up, one for fencing tools, one for this, and you just grab the one you need. You know, when you're pulling your tractor out of the garage, you grab the one you need for that day and you throw it on. That's the beauty of the system.
So I'm back here for day 2 of the tractor show. Much bigger turnout already. It's only about 9:45. Show's been open for 45 minutes. Way bigger turnout than yesterday, which I guess is to kind of be expected. Just got done talking with Jake over at ITC Quick Attach. He was showing me and Al some pretty cool stuff, some new products they've got. Al's got a 574, we've got a 494, basically the same frame tractor, different engines. So, you know, the stuff he was showing Al works for me as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna keep going around. I don't really know how I'm gonna break this video out yet, so you'll kind of see maybe I'm jumping all over the place. But we'll keep talking about some cool tractors as I see them, stuff that is worth taking a look at. What do you think, Tony? Is he a good student?
Think it's gonna be good?
That's the new CFO?
CFO.
That's the new CFO of TYM behind me. First time on a TYM tractor, learning all about it. We got Jake, the owner of ITC Quick Attach over here, and he's on this XCMG Mini X with a steel wrist articulating head, I guess you call it, and he's gonna play around with it for the first time. Now, I don't know a lot about equipment like this, but I do know that that articulating head, when you're using a grading bucket like this, I think that's a grading bucket, or you were using a forestry mulcher, it gives you so much more versatility with your Mini X than if you just had kind of a traditional like bucket thumb setup like this one behind me over here. All right, so I want to talk smaller tractors for a second. I know I've got my 494, and that's kind of a bigger tractor, and I know I've had the BX in the past, but I want to talk kind of mid-range, what I would consider really the best entry point for a new tractor owner if you don't need a big tractor like what I've got, kind of what works for people now. There's going to be your T25 behind me here. This is getting into like Kubota LX territory, if you're familiar with that. We've got a loader capacity up here on the front of 1,380 pounds, open station. You've got high and low range. You've got your PTO on and off. Come around to the back here, you see you've got a toolbox. You've got Bluetooth speakers up on the ROPS, which is pretty cool. But here's what really excites me about this particular tractor. You're looking at a 24.7 horse, to figure 25 horse tractor, no emissions on this thing. Your price on this thing out the door with hydrostat is $18.50 for an open station. For a tractor of this size and this capability to come in under $20,000 is really, really aggressive. And you get TYM's standard 6-year limited warranty. That's powertrain. You get a 2-year bumper to bumper on everything else, but 6-year powertrain warranty. That means anything on this tractor that relates to it moving or going or working is going to be covered. You've got a comfy seat with armrests. You've got third function wired in. It's ready to work. It's ready to go for $18.5. And I don't know if there's a better deal in the market right now for this size tractor. And if you're looking at that T25 and you're like, well, I don't really want an open station, it is available with a cab. $23.5 on this one, tractor, cab, and loader. Again, you've got heat standard on this thing, which is pretty cool. You do have Bluetooth speakers inside as well. I'm not a little guy by any stretch of the imagination, but I actually fit inside this thing just fine. You can see I've got a full hand space above my head up there. Getting in and out of the doors is not a problem. I can reach everything. I don't feel cramped in here. This is actually pretty nice. You do have smaller machines available, like this T224. This is a 24 horse, kind of small frame. You can see the wheels. This is going up against your BX class tractors. And if I keep looping back to Kubota, it's just because it's what I know. 22 horse motor in this, 617 pounds lift capacity at the pins. Great little workhorse if you're looking for something even smaller. 12.9 out the door on this tractor loader. Obviously you want to add a mower deck or anything like that, you're going to cost a little more. But still, crazy deal. Bluetooth speakers on it standard. All sorts of little creature comforts that don't necessarily come with other tractors of the same size. All right, sitting in that T25 cab actually turned into a little impromptu game of will Jack fit in the various small cab tractors. This is a 2205. I think this is the smallest tractor TYM makes with the cab. $16,700. So dirt cheap. Let's see if I fit in here. All right, let's see if we fit. It's not bad. It's a little snug on the brake pedal side. You can see looking around inside this thing, I've got room for the loader joystick. I've got room for my feet around the pedals. I don't really feel too cramped at all in here. I mean, if I'm being honest, it does feel a little small compared to my 494 and even that T25. But if this was what I had as a tractor, I would be more than comfortable using it to do the work I need to do. And at that price of $16,700, it's something that you could potentially roll in. And if you had a larger tractor to do bigger jobs, you could potentially get away with having this as just a second tractor, and your monthly payment or even just the cost on it would not necessarily be too much, depending on your financial situation as it is. I want to talk real quickly about ITC Quick Attach. Quick Attach accessories that you can mount to your tractor loader frame. You've got little gas can carriers like this. You've got chainsaw carriers like this. You've got toolbox carriers like this up here. They've got a saw holder just like this that bolts on, or they have the quick attach features with all the other attachments to it. Really, really cool stuff. Something cool though that I'm definitely excited about is they make skid plates and protection plates for the 574 and 494 that I have, where you can essentially make this thing a flat bottom protected unit, so you can go blasting through the woods and not worry about a stick taking out a hydraulic filter or something like that. Made right in New York. I was talking with Jake, the owner. They're not TYM specific, so I definitely recommend checking them out no matter what kind of tractor you own. That's going to do it for the 2024 Maine Tractor Show with TYM and SR1 equipment. I had a lot of fun. It was a great time to see Tony and Al and hang out with Reed and all the guys from SR1. It was a great time to come up here. It's always a blast. Hope you guys had fun tagging along. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.